welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. The Nigerian military says it will make the list of wanted persons suspected to be members of Boko Haram more available to public places. While briefing newsmen on Wednesday, the Director of Defense Intelligence, Colonel Abubakar Rabi in Abuja, urged the general public to give the military and security agencies more information on the whereabouts of the terrorists. He said the list of most wanted Boko Haram members released by the military had so far led to the arrest of 5 suspects.
Aware that the Nigerian armed forces have recently come out of the list after assiduous investigative and intelligence gathering. The launching was done in Maiduguri. 100 suspects were on the list of the most wanted Boko Haram members. And this afternoon, we would like to reiterate that the armed forces, even though still in the fight against the insurgents, we were glad to inform you that a lot has happened, positive ones for that matter, and concerted effort and coordination was done in order to bring down the terrorists. Synergy between military and other security agencies and good citizens of this country have equally taken place, and this led us to the list. We are now having about 100 of them, which is circulated not only, you'll find it any corner of this country, important places, the airport, when you go there you see it, and other places too.
Nigeria's House of Representatives is set to investigate a claim that about 90,000 police officials have been killed in the fight against insurgency. The resolution was reached following a motion by Ahmed Yerima, who's representing Bauchi APC. Yerima called on the House to mandate its Committee on Police Affairs to investigate the claim by the IGP and make recommendations accordingly. He explained that the IGP's declaration was alarming and disturbing considering the delicate security situation in the country, adding that it was an acceptance of low manpower in the police force.
A situation where we are talking about 90,000 policemen being killed, when the total policemen we have in the country is about 350,000. So if you say 90,000, you're talking about one quarter or 1/5 of the entire policemen in Nigeria. It is very, very unfortunate. Mr. Speaker, it is time that this Honorable House ensures that the Nigerian police force are well taken care of. Their salaries are paid on time, their welfare is protected, and that is the only way they can operate at their best capacity. The numbers of policemen are lagging, in the sense that where reports are made to police divisions, in most cases, the response is either low or there is no response at all. At the end of it all, for the purpose the report may have been made, you will not get results.
The Nigerian government has announced the establishment of an efficiency unit to monitor its agencies and ensure all expenditures are necessary and represent the best possible value for money. This is contained in a statement issued by the Director, Press Federal Ministry of Finance, Marshal Gundu, in Abuja. The unit is domiciled at the Federal Ministry of Finance and is expected to review all government overhead expenditure to reduce wastage, promote efficiency and ensure quantifiable savings for the country. Gundu said the e-unit would work across all ministries, departments and agencies to identify and eliminate wasteful spending, duplication and other inefficiencies. He stated that the committee would be chaired by the Finance Minister, Kemi Adeosun, and other members will be drawn from both the public and private sectors. A group known as the Muslim Rights Concern MURIC has rejected the purported ban on hijab in the National Youth Service Corps camps across the country. The Director General of the NYSC, Johnson Olaomi, had earlier this week announced a ban on the use of long hijab by female corps members, citing security concerns. But MURIC, in a statement by its director, Ishaq Akintola, said the ban is unacceptable to Muslims across the country. He added he expects the issue not to get to a point where Nigerian Muslims will decide to opt out of the NYSC service here instead of obey what he described as NYSC's draconian laws. MURIC charged the NYSC to revisit its rules and also appealed to the National Assembly to intervene in the ban. The former Special Assistant to former President Goodluck Jonathan on police matters, Ahmed Goodluck Okpara, has challenged the office of Uche Secondus as the acting national chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP). Goodluck filed a suit before a Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja, demanding the removal of Secondus from office, alleging his position in the party is unconstitutional. Following the resignation of Adamu Muazu as national chairman of the PDP, the party had appointed his deputy Uche Secondus to act in his capacity.
From my instruction, Honorable Chief Secondo is not an indigenous of North-East. So, and by operation of law, if a person is elected to be chairman of PDP for 4 years, either he resigns or is removed, the PDP is enjoined by its law, by its constitution, to appoint a replacement from that zone. You may know that Dr. Ahmed Maazu resigned in May, and till today, the PDP has not had a person from the Northeast to conclude the tenure. So that's why we're in court. For the court to determine whether or not his continued stay in power is right and correct in view of the provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic that talks about a reflection of federal character in the composition of party hierarchy.
For the past 6 months, the party has been adamant, and the acting chairman has been adamant, and he is making it almost impossible for internal mechanism to work for the emergence of a chairman from the Northeast, and that is why we from the Northeast feel excluded, and we cannot be ignored, and that is why I've come to court to seek court redress.
We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll look at business and international stories. Please don't go away.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on TV360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back. Here watching TV360 News now. To business stories. The Naira strengthened 2.1% to 235 per dollar on the unofficial market on Thursday after the Central Bank of Nigeria moved to enforce documentation requirements on bureau de change operators prior to dollar sales. In a circular issued on Thursday, the CBN asked all bureau de change operators to submit accounts showing their dollar usage at the start of each week before they can access future sales. Traders say the move is aimed at curbing speculations in the market. The Naira was quoted at the pegged rate of 197 Naira to the official interbank market on Thursday. The currency had fallen sharply on Wednesday, a day after the central bank unexpectedly cut interest rates to stimulate lending in Nigeria, which is Africa's biggest economy. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) says it has acquired the services of the Department of State Services (DSS) and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) in its bid to stop the hoarding and diversion of petroleum products by some corrupt marketers. This was disclosed by the Managing Director of the Pipelines and Products Marketing Company, Esther Nnamdi, who said that the NNPC decided to mobilize both agencies so that they can ease the tracking down of any marketer involved in sabotaging the efforts of the federal government in making petroleum products available to motorists across the country. She said both organizations have NNPC's mandate to sanction any errant marketer. She also urged Nigerians and other motorists to desist from panic buying, assuring that there are sufficient petroleum products to satisfy local consumption. Oil fell on Thursday as fears of escalating violence causing supply disruption in the Middle East faded and focus returned to persistent market glut and increased global output. Brent was down 46 cents to $45.71 a barrel, while U.S. crude was down 21 cents at $42.83 per barrel. A day earlier, oil recorded a sixth consecutive gain after a smaller than expected U.S. inventory build and a fall in U.S. oil rig counts. OPEC is determined to keep pumping oil to defend market share, alarming some of the group's weaker members who fear prices may slump towards $20 a barrel. Thousands of people have gathered to celebrate Mass with Pope Francis at a university camp in Kenya. Pope Francis on Wednesday arrived in Kenya for the start of a three-nation African tour. This is his first visit to the continent as pontiff. During the celebration, Pope Francis made a plea for traditional values, saying the health of any society depends on the health of its families. The Pope also urged Kenyans to work for peace and reconciliation amid a rise in militant violence. Ahead of the Mass, Pope Francis had been meeting with religious leaders who he said should be prophets of peace in a violent and hate-driven world. Pope Francis' 5-day visit will also see him go to Uganda and the Central African Republic, which has been hit by Christian-Muslim conflict. The Turkish military has released an audio recording of what it says were warnings to a Russian warplane before it was shot down on the Syrian border. Turkey said it had tried to rescue the Su-24 bomber's 2 pilots. However, one of them was killed by gunfire as he parachuted from the burning plane. The other pilot was rescued and has since denied claims that the jet had violated Turkish airspace and warnings had been given. The plane crashed into a mountainside on Syrian soil after being hit by a missile from a Turkish fighter. Tensions have escalated between the both countries over the incident, with Russian President Vladimir Putin describing it as a stab in the back and warning of serious consequences. The US, the EU and the UN have all appealed for calm. Moving on to sports now, World Football Governing Body FIFA has released a list of 55 players nominated to feature in the 2015 FIFA FIFA Ward X. As expected, the list is dominated by players from last season's Champions League semi-finalists, with Madrid having the highest number of 12 players. Treble winners Barcelona have 10 players on the list, while German champions Bayern Munich have 11. Four-time African Player of the Year Yaya Toure is Africa's sole representative on the list, while Premier League champions Chelsea have 3 players nominated. The FIFA Pro Ward X is decided by professional footballers all over the world. Chelsea legend Didier Drogba has backed former Chelsea goalkeeper Peter Cech to help his new side Arsenal win their first Premier League title in a decade. The North London club are currently fourth on the table, 2 points behind surprise leader Leicester City, but Drogba expects the Gunners to overcome the challenge of other contenders simply because they have Cech at their goalpost. Cech joined from Chelsea in a deal worth over £11 million in the summer of 2015. He has so far made 18 appearances for the Gunners and kept 8 clean sheets. We've come to the end of news now. We thank you very much for joining us. I am Thelma Okoro.